I got, as my bonus feature the first time around, a horrible, agonizing, debilitating UTI. That was a particularly female ooh, if you don't mind me saying so. Listen, I hear you, my sisters. I had no idea. I apologize. I'm here for you, ladies. I'm so sorry. I did not know. I had no idea. Cranberry juice. Cranberry juice. Unbelievable. If you don't know what a UTI is, you're probably a dude. UTI stands for urinary tract infection. Oh, really, Greg? I thought only ladies got a UTI. No! Anyone that's got a UT can get an I. Greg, are you saying you didn't clean your vagina correctly? No, I did. I did clean it correctly. And anyway, that's not how you get it, you fucking asshole! I'm here and I apologize, ladies. I apologize. I had no idea. It was bad. I mean, it was so bad. I was sweating and horrible with the COVID and my penis was on fire. I was like, it was like the 1980s all over again. I swear to God, the only relief I could get, I swear, was putting my penis in a glass of cold water. It's like, I could never go back to that Denny's. Just some pancakes, please, just some pancakes. It was really bad, and I was in Scotland when I got it. I was in Scotland, so I couldn't even see my regular doctor. Don't get me wrong, I love Scotland, but my doctor's in America. I apologize if I've offended any Scottish doctors who are here this evening. I know there's no Scottish doctors here. Nobody's smoking. If I was in Scotland, I don't have a doctor there. I started phoning around trying to find a doctor. I was phoning different offices, couldn't get anyone. Eventually, I talked to a woman on the phone, and she said she was a doctor's receptionist. But looking back on it now, I realize she's probably a witch. You shall not talk to the doctor until you answer my questions 3. Did you wash your groceries? Did you stuff toilet paper in your ass? It was all of that. She kept questioning. Eventually, I said, look, you've got to listen to me. I'm in bad shape here. I said this is true. I said, look, it's not just the COVID. I've also got a very inflamed penis. And I swear this is what she said. She went, any more of that talk and I'm hanging up. But I managed to persuade her I was sick. So she said, all right, you sound like you're quite sick. The doctor will see you first thing Monday morning. This was Friday night. I said, it's Friday night. I could be dead by Monday morning. She said, well, you should have washed your groceries. And hung up. So the whole weekend, I was in this flat in Glasgow, in this apartment in Glasgow, and I was sweating and dying. I was like, oh my God. And about 4 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday, I swear this is true, I was standing in the bathroom naked, with my penis in a glass of cold water. And my penis was very distressed. It was like, I was like, quiet, Snorky, it's all right, boy. That's right, Snorky. I said, quiet, Snorky, quiet, it's all right, boy. I was really bad, but here's the thing. I swear this is true. I was sweating, I was like delirious with a fever. The fever wouldn't go away, and I was standing with my penis in a glass of cold water, and I started to kind of hallucinate in this odd way. And I heard a voice. Well, it wasn't really a voice, it was my voice. And it said a thing, and I went, wow, you're a very sick man, Craig Ferguson. Because it came into my head, this voice, and I swear this is what it said. It went, if I live through this, I'm going to put it in the act. Turning adversity into gold. So I went to see the doctor first thing Monday morning. And it was a bit tricky because the doctor was a Scottish Protestant lady doctor, and I'm a Scottish Protestant man patient, so things are a little tense anyway. And she said, you know, I talked to her about the COVID, and I said, I've got COVID. She went, okay. And then she could tell there was something else wrong, and she said, what is it? I said, it's my penis, doctor. And I swear she did this. She went, oh, great. And all right, we better have a look at it. So I got up on the table and I took down my pants, and I swear she did this. She went, oh, that is very unpleasant. Oh. 10 points off Slytherin. She got a little tongue depressor thing and she moved it. She moved it and she went, oh, it looks like a snail with leprosy. I said, am I gonna die? She said, no, you're not gonna die. It's a UTI, you big baby. I'll give you some antibiotics and it'll clear right up. I said, what about the COVID? Am I gonna die from that? She said, I don't know. That obviously is fine. I'm sorry to the young people for talking about my illnesses. Sorry, everybody. But I've reached that age. When I was young, my stories were great. It was like, yeah, we took some Patagonian acid, we stole the space shuttle and drove it to Hooters. Ah! Now my stories are just, well, it turns out I had an infection in my pee-pee hole. Looked like a snail with leprosy. Nobody tells you that about getting older either. Your mouth just falls open all the time. You don't even know. I caught myself at a stoplight the other day just... Anyway. Sorry about talking about my illnesses. I won't do it again. The second time I got COVID, the bonus feature was very strange indeed. It wasn't anything to do with my pee-pee, thank goodness. It was I got something as my bonus feature, something called, and maybe medical professionals may know it, a Chelcian. Do you know what that is? No, I didn't know either. I thought it sounded adorable. A Chelcian? Well, that's lovely. It sounds like a leprechaun's walking stick or something. Touch me, Chelcian, and I'll give yous a pot of gold. This is how leprechauns walk, apparently. I'm sorry for walking like this. I've got a UTI. Anyway, a Chelcian is a horrible, very unpleasant eye infection. It looks like a sty, but it's not a sty. It's very different. And I was like, oh, and I was in Scotland again when I got COVID again. Just saying. And I had to go and see the same doctor that I'd looked at my pee-pee at the previous thing. And I went in and she looked at my eye and she went, and it was bad. It was all swollen. She went, oh, what's that? I went, I don't know. Hence my visit to you, doctor. She went, it looks like a sty. I went, yeah, I thought it might be that. She went, okay. She said, I better have another look at your penis just in case. I said, no, forget it. You had your chance, doctor. That's the stupidest thing I've said so far. You've had your chance. All right, shut up. Anyway, she said, it looks like a sty. I went, okay. She went, okay, it's a bad one though. I said, I know. She said, okay, I'll give you a course of antibiotics. I'll take care of it. I went, okay. So I start taking this course of antibiotics. And I leave Scotland, I come back to America, and I go to Los Angeles. And my eye's not getting better, it's getting worse. And it's getting worse and worse, so I go and see my American doctor. And I walked in, and at this point, my eye's like a baboon's anus on my face. And I walk in, and he looks at it, and he goes, oh, wow, what's that? I don't know. He went, yeah, looks like a sty. I went, yeah, I know, that's what we thought. He went, okay, I'm gonna give you a course of antibiotics. said, I took antibiotics in Scotland and they didn't work. And he went, I'm going to give you some American antibiotics. American antibiotics will kill your motherfucking eye. American antibiotics will take away that sty. American antibiotics when you are feeling rough. American antibiotics built Ford tough. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, give me some of those American antibiotics. He went, okay, and he ordered them, and the American antibiotics arrived in a monster truck. They came in a monster truck, and it was being driven by Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris jumped out of the monster truck, and he landed in front of me. He opened his pants, and a bald eagle flew out of his pants and circled my head and dropped the American antibiotics into my mouth, and I felt them tingle to every one of my red, white, and blue veins. And they didn't work.
My favorite silly little ha-has are street jokes. Do you guys know what those are? Street jokes? Yeah, street jokes. Street jokes are fun, simple, quick little jokes. If they're usually, like, no one knows who wrote them. People just know them. They're usually, like, sexist, racist, homophobic, offensive, really funny. And, yeah, it's a way people communicate with each other if you've ever worked with people that don't speak English. It's amazing. It's amazing. If you've ever worked in a kitchen or a restaurant, this is how you get along with people. And if you've never worked in a kitchen or a restaurant, you can go straight up fuck yourself, okay? I do not trust you. I do not trust you. I do not trust you. I love street jokes. Here's an example, okay? Here's an example. Why did the Mexican murder his wife? Tequila. That's funny. That's funny. That's a fun little ha-ha. That's a silly little ha-ha. My favorite thing to do, because I know so many street jokes, is in New York City, homeless people tell you street jokes, and then when you laugh, they ask for money. So my favorite thing to do is to finish their street jokes for them. It blows their minds, yeah. Yeah, because that's like their currency. They tell you a joke, and when you laugh, they ask for money, and if you don't laugh, they go stab, 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 stab. And then you go, oh, ha, 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 you're killing me, ha, 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 my sides, So, I was in the West Village one night, 2 a.m., with a bunch of friends. This guy comes up and he goes, hey, you guys want to hear a joke? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay, so here's a joke. And he goes, what's the difference between The Lion King and O.J. Simpson? And I said, one's an African lion, and the other's a lion African. That's a good joke. Yeah, that's a good joke. This guy's brain exploded, okay? He acted like a black dude that saw a magic trick, okay? He was like, what the fuck is this? How the fuck you know this shit? What the fuck? Hey, yo, what the fuck? I became king of the homeless, okay? Yeah, he gave me money. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing, yeah. My favorite street joke of all time, I'll tell you how I heard it. I went skydiving, okay? I went skydiving in Allentown, Pennsylvania. The exact response, yeah. Yeah, it's a town that has more ears of corn than people with teeth, okay? Yeah, it's bad. And so I went skydiving, and when you go skydiving, anyone here ever go skydiving? Anyone? Yeah, a couple? I say do it. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had because it took the thing we're all afraid of the most, which is death, and it makes you face it, get through it, and realize all of our fears aren't exactly, they don't rule us, you know? Yeah. If you're scared of something, I say do it. Get to the other side, and you'll realize that it was all kind of in our head the whole time. So I was so scared jumping out of a plane. I did it. I survived. It was amazing. But while we're in the air, I get told a street joke because the man that I was attached to, and that's what happens when you tandem skydive, you're attached to another human. And in Allentown, Pennsylvania, they don't have a tooth. And so I'm attached to him, and he goes, hey, before we jump out of a plane, we like to tell a joke. That way, if you die, at least you die laughing. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? How many people had to die before you were like, we gotta put a smile on their face, you know? What are you talking about? Why are you bringing up death before we jump out of a plane? So I'm in front of him, I'm attached to him, and this is the joke he told that he whispered in my ear and then he yanked me out of a plane, okay? Don't kill the messenger, all right. Hey, how do you get a fag to fuck a woman? You shove shit in her pussy. Let's go! And then we jumped out of a fucking plane! I'm in the middle of the air like... I've been with men and women and it had nothing to do with the shit, man. And it's like, yo, if I die, the last image I have in my head is a woman laying in a bed. Be like, are you gonna fuck me or what? And the gay guy's like, I would, but there's not enough shit. Like, what the fuck? Why would you tell me that? That guy is the straightest man alive. That guy is gay. He's gay. He's gay. He's got to be gay. There's no way he would tell me the most homophobic joke of all time and then for 20 minutes be in the air, nuts to butts with another man and just be like, I'm just going to hold on to you the way down, man, all right? Yeah, that's right. We got a saying around here, secrets are safe in the sky. Straight guys are so much gayer than they'll ever admit. It's true. Straight guys do so much gay shit, they don't even realize it, okay? Like, what's gayer? What's gayer, okay? What's gayer? Look, we're all friends, we're all family. Doors are locked from the outside, okay? Yeah, okay? What's gayer? What's gayer, okay? Being like, what's gayer? Sucking an adult man's dick like a blue-collar fucking American. Just clocking in, clocking out, doing a job, brother. That's right, yeah. And guess what? I'm union, you know? Yeah. What's gayer, that or being like, Aaron Rodgers is 6'5", 235 pounds. He went to UC Berkeley, and last year he scored so many touchdowns. Yes, Aaron, me and my friends, we fantasize about you, Aaron. Yes, every Sunday I wear your work uniform to watch you play a game. It's a little sus, you know? Yeah. It's gay. So many guys do gay shit. They don't even realize it. The way guys judge women's bodies, the way they talk about women, they do it in such a gay, catty way, you know? And I think it's more immaturity than anything, because I used to do it when I was younger, and, you know, I don't anymore. But the way guys talk about women's bodies, it's like so, like, you just, it's gay. It's gay. It's gay. It's gay. It's gay. It's gay. Guys, I have girlfriends of mine who I cannot orgasm because they're insecure about the way their bodies look, and specifically the way their vagina looks, because the guys they're with don't like the way they look down there. Some women are even getting labiaplasties. They're getting their lips lasered off because the guys they're with don't like the way their pussies look. What kind of a straight dude in the history of time has ever been looking at a handcrafted flower made by God, a giver of life? It makes water, you can drink it to survive. And it's been like, and now. Aesthetically, no thank you. It's like, bro, you are a fag, okay? And I can say that word. I've had more dicks in my body than there are letters in the alphabet. Yeah, that's right. And I'm talking the Chinese alphabet, brother. What's up? Yeah, a lot of characters. dude, guys will be like, ew, dude, it looks like a roast beef sandwich. Gross. I'm like, fuck you, give me a bib. Let's go, okay? Yeah, I want to eat it like an orphan at Thanksgiving. Let's do this, all right? Yeah, like Thanksgiving, Papa like a little extra turkey skin. Let's go, mama, come on. Ew, dude, it looks like someone threw a grenade into a deli. Fuck you, I love G.I. Joe. Give me a helmet, let's do this, all right? Yeah, I want to go to war for that pussy. That's right, yeah. I want to get PTSD from that snatch. Yeah, I want to get done going down on you and walk away and be like, we lost a lot of good men in there. Are you single?
It's so good to be back in Scotland, to be honest, right? Because I started the year, went over to Australia, went over there to do like Melbourne, Sydney Comedy Festival and that. Very exciting, right? It was a big deal for me. It was the first time I got to go to another country to do comedy, right? Which means it was the first time I ever had to fill out a working visa to get into a country, because usually I'm just going on holiday, and it's very scary, that form to get into Australia, right? There's loads of questions. The big one is they really want to know if you're a criminal, right? So it's like, have you had any prior convictions? And they're all there, right? Burglary, everything's there, right? And I'll be honest, given the history of that country, I genuinely didn't know if they wanted me to tick yes or no. I was like, oh, fuck it. I didn't want them to think I'm a pussy. Put me down for an assault. Get my rep up a bit here. The guy at the border was like, this assault? Was it racially motivated? I went, yes. And he was like, I'll get in, mate. The first place I landed in Australia was Perth, right? And if you've never been, like, Perth's big thing is that it's the most isolated city in the world, and it fucking feels like it. Right? And because of that, in this country, if I say the word junkie, right, immediately what you think of is a heroin addict, right? That's our thing. We're very good at it in Scotland, right? We made a film about it, right? We're class at it, right? Now, the thing about heroin, of course, it's a horrible drug, very scary, right? But the good thing about it is it does make the people that take it very docile. You know what I mean? You didn't really feel like getting up too much after a good batch, The problem with Perth is it's so far away from anywhere else that, like, none of the cartels bother to go there. So there's like no heroin, no cocaine, nothing like that, right? But what you can make anywhere, if you've got a kitchen, is meth. Right? And I know I've framed that in such a way that sounds like I'm going to be like, and if you stay around to the end of the show, I've got a great recipe. But meth is everywhere, and if you've never been around meth, it does not make people docile. No, meth heads are up for a wee adventure. Couldn't believe it, man. The first time I got to Perth, I was wandering around the city centre and I was like, oh my God, this city has so many silent discos. Then I was like, wait a minute, none of these people are wearing headphones. And I think that guy's bleeding. So that was the first place I went, right? And of course, if anyone's been, it's a 24-hour flight. You land, you're upside down, the water's going the other way. You don't know what time it is. You don't know if it's New Year or New York, right? So I landed at about 7 p.m. Perth time, right? My agent had organised for me the next morning at 6 a.m. to be on a local Perth radio station to promote the shows that I was there to do, right? So, of course, I don't know what is happening. They're very nice. They sent a taxi to the hotel to pick me up. Right? I just got in it blindly. It could have been the fake taxi for all I know, I don't know if I was going to get pumped or dropped off, but I got in. But anyway, I get to the station, it's all nice. They're being really nice to me. They get me coffee, they're making me feel dead comfortable and that, right? And what I didn't know, I'd never done live radio before, but it makes sense, when they're bringing you in to do your live interview and that, they have to play a pre-recorded bit of radio while they're getting you set up. But when you're in the studio, you can't hear that, right? Someone can hear it in their headphones, but you can't hear it. And what I had no idea, they were playing this pre-recorded kind of interview debate piece. about the Australian women's football team, right? They call them the Matildas. And it was quite a heated debate thing. I had no idea, right? So I get brought in, and it's a female presenter on the thing, and she brings me in, she's like, I'm joined here by Scottish stand-up comedian Connor Burns. He's doing some shows in Perth, but before we get to that, Connor, why do you think women's sports isn't taken seriously? Excuse me? I thought you were going to ask me if I miss Iron Brew. Didn't realise I was here to fix the gender pay gap. I would have revised, you know? And you know what? She saw that I was panicking and starting to squirm a bit, and she was fucking loving it. She was like, I'm a stand-up comedian, lost for words, first time for everything on. I was like, fuck! My career was disappearing in front of me, right? And I'm convinced in my panic, I came out with the single worst possible answer to that question anyone could have said, right? I just started to panic. I was like, I'll watch women do anything. She looked at me, she was like, Then I panicked again. I was like, no, like, I'll watch men as well. I'd been in the country for less than 12 hours. I've just told thousands of people on morning radio that I'm a peeping Tom. I'd done 4 shows in Perth, not a single woman came to any of them. Apparently it wasn't safe. Just a bunch of angry guys. It was like an Andrew Tate convention. It was sad. I really did enjoy my time there, man. I got to do some of the best gigs in my career over there as well. They really spoiled me. I got to perform at the Sydney Opera House, right? Yeah, I know. But I'm very working class, right? And I'll be honest with you, as a working class person, there's a wee voice, you know, when you get a big opportunity like that to play at the Opera House, there's always that wee voice in your head that's just going, who the fuck do you think you are? Do you think these people give a shit what you've got to say, really? Right? And I started to get nervous. I was freaking out. It was being filmed for Australian TV. I was really starting to get nervous, right? So I went and found one of the other comedians who was also going to be on the show, and he's a mate of mine. And I went, mate, I'm freaking out a wee bit here, all right? I'm starting to get to myself. And he went, oh, Connor, you know what's wrong with you, right? And I always stick around for the end of that sentence. Nothing like being diagnosed by someone who I also know is mentally ill, right? He was like, you know what's wrong with you, mate? He went, you've got imposter syndrome. Right? Have we heard this? Because it used to be, if you were shite at something, rightfully, you were ashamed of yourself, right? But, you know, don't let lack of talent hold you back now. But I'll be honest, I was quite excited when I found out that I had imposter syndrome, right? And I was like, this could be good for the brand, shift a few tickets, you know? I was excited. Plus, I'll be honest, I thought, well, maybe I can get myself a disabled parking badge here. Because I live in the centre of Edinburgh, fucking nightmare trying to get parked through there. I went down to the DVLA office, right? I went in, the guy was like, what exactly is the condition that you have? And I went, oh, buddy, I'm actually struggling right now with imposter syndrome. He went, and you think that entitles you to a disabled parking badge, do you? And I went, oh, to be honest, mate, now that you've put it like that, I kind of feel like I don't even deserve to be here. He went, Connor, this is one of the worst cases I've ever seen. You park wherever you want, son. I loved my time in Australia, man. I really, really did. Has anyone here been to Australia? Couple, nice, man. Well, maybe you'll agree with me here. The thing I loved about Australia is I got to experience something over there as a Scotsman that I've never experienced here, right? I got to be exotic. And I'll be honest with you, it's class, right? Because they love the Scottish accent, right? But by way of making some noise, anyone here who isn't Scottish or that, do you find the Scottish accent sexy? You know what the fucked up part is? I actually agree with you. I think it's all bullshit that Hollywood has like tricked women into thinking that Scottish accent's sexy. Because I know my girlfriend's American. She was all excited when she first came here. She's like, I'm gonna fall in love with a Scotsman. Like the idea of a Scottish accent, there's not one. You know what I mean? Imagine being American, coming over here, love-struck eyes, and being like, I want to meet a nice Scotsman. And you end up getting shagged by some guy for Fife. Say, oh, I keep going like that, I'm going to kick in my brakes, eh? That's a mood killer, that. You know what? My agent specifically asked me not to make any of the jokes in this too Scottish. Because she's like, we don't know what part of the world people are going to be watching it. But I was like, I'm keeping that one in. Because the idea of someone in like Tennessee watching this and be like, what the hell is kicking my brakes? Sounds a little fruity to me. It's not just Scottish that gets like a wee leg up from Hollywood as well. I think Hollywood's done a lot of good for Irish as well, right? Because the Americans aren't always like, oh my God, Irish guys, oh, it's so sexy, it's so hot. Right? I cannot think of anything more sexually terrifying than going to bed with someone with a Belfast accent. Just put your trousers next to mine. Lay back, I'm gonna blow you away. That's scary. By the way, has anyone seen that viral video about the taxi driver in Belfast? Has anyone seen this? Oh man, it was nuts. So this taxi driver is also like a bit of a gangster, but he drives taxis on the side, right? And he picks up a guy, and unbeknownst to him, the guy gets in, and it's a guy that owes him drug money. Right, so the Belfast taxi driver goes into his glove compartment and takes out a handgun, right? Forgetting that his cab is being filmed, and starts shaking down this passenger, right? And it starts out dead scary. He's like, you know you owed me that money. I've got half a mind to drive you down here and take your kneecaps, lad. Right? But then, the reason I love this clip is it turns into the most Irish back and forth you've ever seen in your life. Because it starts out dead scary, right? And then eventually the guy in the back starts to cry. And the driver just goes, sure now, there's no need to cry. We all make mistakes, lad. Pull yourself together. I'll give you another fortnight, but then I'm coming for the kneecaps. Oh, wow, how reasonable. But it's great, man. Having the Scottish accent, it's absolutely nuts over there. Like, they really do like it over in Australia. Like, I was wandering about one day, just in Sydney, right? And this woman came up to ask for directions. And she's like, excuse me, do you know the way to Darling Harbour? And I'd been, so I went, oh, no worries. I just go to the bottom of the street and then turn right. And she went, oh my God. Are you Scottish? You know, I was like, here we go. You know, because I'm not a piece of meat. It's like, why do they never ask me how I feel? I've got a long-term girlfriend, right, and like I was not over there trying to catch any snapper, right? That's not my modus operandi. So I was over there and I was like, I don't know how to deal with flirting, I'll be honest, because I've never been flirted with in this country, right? Because I know what I look like. I'm not the best looking guy, not the worst looking guy, just aggressively plain. My best mate summed it up perfectly. He was like, Connor, do you know what you look like? Do you know when you start playing a computer game? You get your character, but you haven't changed any of the settings yet. So you look like player one. Right? So I'm not used to being flirted with, right? And Aussie women, they're very direct with their flirting. I couldn't handle it, right? And I love my girlfriend. I wasn't going to do anything stupid. So I came up with a wee plan, right? Anytime an Aussie woman started flirting with me, I would just nip it right in the bud by pretending to be South African. Nah, I like South African people, man. They're good people, but you've got to admit, that's an unshaggable accent. It's too percussive and angry. It's scary, you know? Like, you imagine she asked me for directions, like, excuse me, do you know the way to Darling Harbour? I'm just like, yeah, no problem, I can take you there myself, Why are you running away? I'm trying to help you. Come on, take me back to your place. Maybe I could shoot you through the bathroom door. I'll just let that one digest. And by the way, to the one or two sick people that tried to start a round of applause there, I love you with all my heart. Although that is a scary joke to get a clap on, right? Because it's very dark in here, and part of me is like, oh my God, maybe he's here and he's running towards me, you know? That might be his wee spatula feet on the tiles. I looked him up recently, Oscar Pistorius, not like in the yellow pages, like, hey mate, what you doing? Because like I was quite young when all that happened, and I knew like he was a horrible guy. I knew he'd killed his girlfriend, but I didn't know that much about him, right? Obviously he's a sprinter, so fast in the Paralympics that they put him into the Olympics, right? Unbelievable. Anyone know what Oscar Pistorius ran 100 metres in? 10.9 seconds, which is rapid. Legged. But unlegged. Unbelievable. Unheard of, right? And I was going down on this wee wormhole looking this stuff up, and then I also discovered the fastest female sprinter of all time, right? Anyone know what she runs 100 metres in? A wee bikini. To be honest, that one's kind of just for me. No, I looked it up. She runs it in 10.7 seconds, right? She's 0.2 of a second quicker than Pistorius, which is amazing. Very, very impressive, right? But like 0.2 of a second, that's not much, right? That's like, you know, a bad start, a wee slip, a sneeze, right? And the fastest woman of all time running full pelt could still be overtaken by a guy with spatulas for feet. Now, I'm just presenting you with some information. But I'll be honest, when I read that, the first thing that popped into my mind was, you know, maybe, just maybe, that is why women's sports isn't taken seriously. Right, I understand the women are a bit pissed off now, right? I'm just messing about. This is a God's honest truth. I made all of the numbers up there. None of that's true. The fastest female sprinter is actually an entire second quicker than Oscar Pistorius. But you didn't care about that. You believed me. Because I'm a man. All right? And I want to be clear, sisters, I think that's fucked up. But it doesn't make it any less true. All right?
I know it looks like it, but I do not come from money. I do come from a long line of meth heads. I'm actually first generation non-meth head. Thank you, I'm proud of that. I've been close a few times. There was a good chunk of my childhood where the state of Oklahoma thought it might be a better idea if I go live with my grandma. You can always spot a granny baby, man. We're built different, you know? And before you guys go throwing my grandma any parades, let me be very clear about something, okay? She did not like the fact that she had to take in me and my sisters, all right? But the way I look at it, that's karma coming back at her for raising crackheads on her first try. No, I loved my parents, man. They just couldn't get their shit together. My dad was a freelance welder, and my mom was a freelance meth head. So I guess you could say they both knew how to handle a torch. We were so poor growing up, we used to have joint birthday parties and our birthdays aren't even close together. Me and my cousin had a joint party every year. We're not even the same zodiac sign. Birthdays are 7 months apart, man. And we couldn't afford Chuck E. Cheese or none of that shit. We just had our party in the McDonald's play area. You know what I'm talking about? And we wouldn't rent it out or nothing. We'd just show up. It was always my 2 sisters, a few cousins, and whoever else just happened to be there that day. Just spent my birthday hanging out in the ball pit, getting to know people, you know? And still to this day, I love getting smothered in balls on my birthday. We were so poor and hungry growing up that every year at Halloween, when we'd go out, we would only say, treat! We weren't gonna risk saying trick, man. Put the candy in the bag, bitch. We'd get home and my mom would check our candy for needles. Because she needed extra? I don't know. I don't know what she was doing. And Christmas wasn't any better, you guys. Every year at Christmas, we'd make a gingerbread man house and we'd eat it so fucking fast because we were terrified it's going to get foreclosed. Well, that, and we wanted to get to it before the roaches did. They were quick, man. Hey, did anybody else grow up with roaches? Hell yeah, be proud of your culture. Hell, we named ours. Christmas was different for me than I think other kids. You know, we never left Santa milk and cookies. We always left him a half-empty bottle of Crown and some Funyuns. Which was more than that son of a bitch deserved, okay? Well, all he ever left in my stocking was empty little Debbie wrappers and those little scratch-off lotto tickets that were already scratched off. Losing tickets. Took me forever to realize that Santa probably had a gambling addiction. Just like my dad. What are the odds of that, man? I'm pretty sure one year he used my stocking to jack off with and left some dried cum in there. At least that's what it tasted like. No, I love Christmas, man. I've loved Christmas since I was a little girl. We used to go down and press our noses against the glass at Rent-A-Center. Look at all the high-quality electronics that Santa might bring us and let us keep till about mid-January. That seemed to be about the time shit would start to disappear. And my dad would tell us that Krampus came and took everything away because we were being bad kids. And it's like, that wasn't Krampus, that was Repo Man Jeffrey. And we're not bad kids, that's bad credit. I'm not fucking stupid, man. No, I bet Santa's a cool dude, you know? Bet he's good at eating pussy, too. Think about it. I've never met a chunky guy that wasn't great at munching box, baby. Just thinking about his long, curly... White beard hairs just tickling your butthole while he's down there. Hey, I don't know if Santa sucks clit, but I got kicked out of 27 malls trying to find out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody remembers their first job as a kid, man. You know, maybe you sold Girl Scout cookies, maybe you mowed lawns, you babysat, whatever. I was about 12 years old when I got my first job. I was the account manager for my granny's Marlboro Miles. Okay, real ones, no. Okay, yeah. So for everybody that was either too young to remember or maybe you just had a great childhood, let me set it up for you guys, okay? Marlboro used to have this program where if you smoked a shit ton of their cigarettes, they'd send you free shit. That's right, free stuff for doing the thing you loved most, man. The world really was a better place. And they used a point system, okay? It was 5 points per pack of cigarettes. And all you had to do was save up a whole bunch of points, pick what you wanted from the Marlboro catalog, okay? Send in your points, and they would mail you your item in the longest 6 to 8 weeks of your fucking life. Marlboro sunglasses, Marlboro jackets, Marlboro coolers, Marlboro tents, Marlboro dartboards. I mean, they had it all, man, okay? And every item they had the Marlboro logo plastered across it. Because this was really all about marketing, okay? Because before this, the only way to advertise that you smoke Marlboros is if you walked around with an oxygen tank. And every item they had probably cost them $2 to make, you know, if that. And it was made by a 6-year-old Vietnamese kid who was definitely also smoking Marlboro Reds. Man, when they dropped this program, my granny upped it from 2 packs a day to 4. She quit becoming an addict and became an investor. And she had her eyes set on the biggest prize in that catalog, the Marlboro bicycle. Because nothing screams a healthy lifestyle like chain smoking while riding a bike. And y'all, the bicycle was 16,000 points. Now let's do a little math here, okay? That equals 3,200 packs of cigarettes. And let's say in the late 90s, early 2000s, I'm just lowballing here. Let's say a pack of cigarettes was $2. That equals $6,400 in cash. You could buy a Chevy S10 for $6,400 in 1998. That's trailer trash math, okay? And to you or me, that doesn't make sense. But to my granny, that's a free fucking bike. Oh my God, you guys. It was wild. Y'all, our monthly cigarette budget was more than the grocery budget. One month, it was either cigarettes or toilet paper. And guess who had to wipe their ass with coffee filters? Me. She took it serious, man. She did, y'all. One time my uncle got drunk and tripped over my grandma's little chihuahua, went airborne, okay? Dropped a whole bowl of Wolf brand chili onto the coffee table. Ruined a fat stack of Marlboro Miles I just counted out. Y'all, my grandma lost her shit. I swear to God, I saw it in slow motion, you guys. She jumped up, she chokeslammed my uncle through the screen door into the backyard. It was wild, man. She went from 0 to full-blown Undertaker in 0.3 seconds.
I do enjoy going out on the town with my friends. It's just that most of my Friday and Saturday nights are spent driving around the country doing stand-up comedy. So I am still partying. I'm just partying on my own, in my car, listening to Radio 1. Listening to Radio 1 and their curious mélange of throbbing drum and bass with some of the most tedious texts ever committed to iMessage. People texting into Radio 1 on a Friday night to say that they're not able to go out tonight, but all of these banging tunes are making them wish that they could. What a pathetic community of people that is. Shame on you if you're amongst that number. Annie Mac doesn't care about your coursework. She pretends to care and then she plays an even more banging tune. Is that compassion? Not in my dictionary. Don't get me wrong, I've felt the same, just never felt the urge to get in touch. Never gonna text in and say, "Oh, Pete Tong, I'm meant to be going to the Cardiff Glee Club tonight, but if these beats get any sicker, I'm just gonna pull into memory services and do a line off the dashboard." I like to imagine Classic FM having the opposite problem. People texting into Classic FM on a Friday night saying they're meant to be going out with the boys tonight, but all of this lit Vivaldi's making them want to sack it off. If this sonata slaps any harder, they're going to cancel the Uber and start on a coq au vin. My favourite part of every Friday night is a tweet that I receive from my favourite Twitter account telling me that it's now the weekend. The Twitter account is called Ladies and Gentlemen, The Weekend, and its sole existence is to announce the weekend every Friday night. And the account has over 500,000 followers. The internet is a fascinating place. If you don't know it, perhaps you'd understand more if I told you that the weekend was being announced by none other than Daniel Craig. 007 himself. I don't believe he recorded this content specifically for this purpose. A couple of years ago, while promoting No Time to Die, he was hosting the American variety show Saturday Night Live, where one of his contractual obligations as the host was to introduce a pop star whose stage name is The Weeknd. A couple of you are already fast-forwarding to the fun in your own minds, and I can't say I blame you. Daniel comes out and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd," as any of us would have done in the circumstances. Some legend in their bedroom sees the window of opportunity of a lifetime, clips it up, pops it online, 500,000 disciples gather to worship every week, myself included. I am yet to have a Friday night too good or too shit not to be vastly improved by Daniel telling me it's about to be a different day. He's perfect for the role as well. He's a glamorous international celebrity, but he's got some thank fuck it's Friday energy to him these days. Hope that's not too controversial a thing to say that Daniel Craig looks tired. Who wouldn't look tired on the never-ending promotional trail for the multi-delayed post-COVID release of a James Bond film he didn't even want to be in? Where he wasn't even allowed to bang anyone because it's not those times anymore. Poor old tired Daniel. Running around with a stitch and falling in love and dying like the cuck Bond we all voted for. Fry another yay, his sad eyes seem to say every single week. I was, ladies and gentlemen, the weekending it pretty hard on a stag do shortly after the end of lockdown 3. Now, because all of the people involved have been trapped indoors for so long, and this was most of our first party, I don't need to tell you that the energy on the Stag Do WhatsApp group in the days and weeks leading up to it had been, even by Stag Do WhatsApp group standards, deliciously toxic throughout. Pint emojis flying back and forth. The single pint emoji and its cheeky cousin, the double clanking pint emoji, all president correct. The best man wanted to make sure that we were all at full double clank energy at the start of the stag do, so he got us all to sit down and he delivered quite the keynote speech. He just looked over us all and he said, "Lockdown is over, the boys are back in town." Feel the shiver down your collective spine of that. Lockdown is over, the boys are back in town. We were at a go-karting centre in West London at 9 a.m. I would say an insufficiently laddie environment for such epic levels of bro-on-bro chat. Who are the boys, I hear you ask? 9 management consultants and 1 stand-up comedian? Between the ages of 27 and 42. Waiting to be briefed about the rules of go-karting, alongside 3 other groups of carters, all of the rest of whom were children. What did they make of us? What did the 9-year-old's birthday party make of the phrase, "the boys are back in town"? Did I see one of them downing his fruit shoot extra fast as a tribute to our majesty? Go-karting instructors have a tiny bit of authority for 20 minutes of their week. And they relish every second of that authority. He was insistent that we wouldn't be able to handle the course. This was the expression to which he returned time and time again. At one point, he got right up in my friend's face and he said, "Are you sure you'll be able to handle the course?" And my friend replied, "Yes, I drove here today in my adult car." The instructor didn't like this at all. He referred to this as cheeky back chat. What a delicious phrase. He was keen to steer us away from the cheeky back chat. At one point he said that if we broke too many rules during the race, that we would have to be pulled over for re-education. What needlessly sinister phrasing that is. Pulled over for re-education, especially to quite a posh bunch of boys. Our education cost enough the first time around, thank you very much. Can't call up Ma and Da telling they got to dip into the pension because I've burnt too many oranges at team sport karting. At one point, he said that if we didn't pay more attention in the briefing, he would have to cancel the post-race medal ceremony. And we looked back at him, adults and children alike, as if to say, that is not as big a threat as you think it is, I'm afraid. If you go round to a guy's house and he's got go-karting medals hanging from his bedroom wall, get out of that house as quickly as you possibly can. Not having a pop at go-karting, I should say. It's obviously a vital part of the stag do smorgasbord. I've got a lot of respect for anyone who organises anything like a stag do or a hen do. It's a lot of admin, it's a lot of pressure. I couldn't handle it myself. I know that because I had to do it about 5 years ago for my friend Ed, and it was not a success. And Ed's request was simple. He wanted to go canal boating on his local canal. I booked the boat. We arrived at the dock in the morning to discover that the boat had a max capacity of 12, and we were a party of 13. And my punishment for being the chief architect of this baker's dozen snafu was that I was the twat who had to spend the entirety of the 2 hours walking along the towpath next to the canal, trying to join in with the nautical banter from the humiliating safety of dry land. Any of you ever shouted, "Aye, me hearties" from a cycle path? It's a low point when you know in your soul you're not one of the hearties. Later that day, I'd organised a trip to a beer factory where, due to another admin error, we had enough time to tour the factory, but not enough time to drink any beer at the end of it. I quite literally failed to organise a piss-up in a brewery. That's why I'm not even usually on the stag committee. Obviously, a lot of admin does go into these things. There'd been a lot of admin gone into this stag do after the lockdown. The best man revealed at one point during the day that he'd printed off masks of the groom's face for us all to wear. What a twist this was. We all to wear masks of Andy's face. There we all were, nodding at each other, going, "Look at us, we've transformed into an even more homogenous group of white men than we were before. We're the biggest legends in this gastropub." Even Andy had to wear one. He wasn't delighted by this turn of events, wearing a mask of his own face on his stag do. At one point he said, "But I'm already me." What an existential crisis to have to grapple with on your big day. Also, he wore his mask most of the afternoon. He had a lot to drink. At one point, he stumbled into the pub toilet to be sick. He returned to tell a story of how he'd gone in, lifted up his happy, fresh-faced start-of-day mask to reveal the blotchy hell underneath it, hurled disgustingly into the bowl, and then Dorian Grayed himself straight back into his own stag do. The rest of us, we took off the masks almost immediately, because they were quite hot and quite cumbersome. Took off the masks, regained our original identities, finished our shandies, off to the archery range. We must stick to the schedule. I thought about this again a few months later. Following January, I was isolating at home with COVID and Wordle. I decided in my isolation, while sorting out my stuff, that I was going to throw away my mask and my friend Andy's face from the stag do, because it was taking up too much space in my feelings box. I'm sure I don't need to explain the concept of a feelings box to any of you. It's a box in my home into which I throw anything of any nostalgic potential whatsoever. I love the past. I love to think about it constantly, obsessively, borderline self-harmingly. You can't change it, but boy, you can think about it. The future, much more intimidating and unknowable. No thank you. The past, great. The future, bad. The present, fine. Main attribute, proximity to the past. The best seats in the house. So in they go, into the feelings box, all the old tickets and photographs and receipts and trinkets, but obviously stuff does get thrown occasionally. The mask, it was too big, and also it didn't pass the other test, the hoarder's ultimate delusion, reuse potential. I am clinging on to some real shit in my life in the desperate hope I might get to use it again at some point in the future, and I'll feel clever. I'll save a tiny bit of money, I'll connect momentarily with my past, and I'll feel that a narrative arc has been satisfied. My miscellaneous cream sponge bag in my bathroom is the most curious museum to every ailment I've ever had, and the strange desire for those ailments to return. I got genuinely sad a few months ago when I threw away a tube of the hemorrhoid cream Anusol because it had passed its sell-by date. 5 years ago I had hemorrhoids, the rumours are true, I dealt with the situation swiftly and efficiently using Anusol. Other anal creams are available. I'm not being sponsored by Anusol, but that is the marketing that I seek and crave. Spent the following 5 years almost hoping, in a weird way, for more piles later down the line, just so I could achieve that life goal of seeing out the soul. I don't think that works quite as well with a mask of your friend's face from a stag do. Even if my friend were to remarry and there was another stag do and there were more mask-based jolly japes, I think it would be considered bad stag vibes as the masks came out for me to reach into my own bag and go, oh no, still got mine from 2021 actually. Some of us still remember Louise. I enjoyed going through my stuff while isolating last year, but it was nothing compared to March 2020. In March 2020, I returned to Nostalgia HQ, my parents' house in Wiltshire. My parents' house, brackets, nicer than my house, brackets, might be mine eventually, brackets, TBC. A lot of variables still in play. Brother and sister yet to really show their hand long term. I was lucky that I was able to go and spend the first lockdown at my parents' house. I was even luckier that my parents weren't there. They were trapped on the other side of the world by the pandemic. I love my parents very dearly, but there's no better combination at any age or stage of your life than parents' house without parents there. All of the arga, none of the aggro. Let's keep it simple. I spent 5 months during the lockdown at my parents' house. 5 months sleeping in my childhood bedroom. 5 months, the longest period I've spent in that bedroom since my parents sent me away to an all-boys boarding school when I was 7 years old in 1998. I don't blame them. It was a good decision. I was a little shit. I was asking too many questions. Questions no parent is prepared to answer. How are babies made? What happens after we die? Why does Home Alone 3 have a different child? Too many questions. Let somebody else explain Macaulay's problems to the boy. I wrote a lot of short stories at boarding school in the late 1990s, and of course, I've brought a few of them with me tonight. They paint quite the portrait of my mental state at the time. There are 3 unifying themes to these stories. Number 1, a strong undercurrent of loneliness. Number 2, a transparently autobiographical main character with my name changed to someone from the Thomas the Tank Engine franchise. Number 3, the stories almost immediately pivot away from their originally stated or requested aim to be about whatever was happening in the real world of football at the time. So we start, by way of example, with a windy night, 1998. Gordon was asleep in his bed. And he heard a thunderstorm outside. The wind was loud, and the rain rattled against the windows. He felt so alone, and he missed his mummy and daddy. But then he had a great idea. He could watch Match of the Day. So he went downstairs and turned on the TV. There were no pundits because of Des Lynam's views on the Good Friday Agreement. Even now, when we're filming this, let alone at whatever point in the future people may watch it, we're already quite far past the sell-by date for the Des Lynam's views on the Good Friday Agreement. But once you've written that, that stays in the show till the end of the tour. It was 1-1 in Man U v Newcastle. Man U couldn't lose if they wanted to win the league. With 1 minute left, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tackled Rob Lee to stop him scoring. He didn't get the ball and he got sent off, but it was just what he had to do and the match ended as a draw. Just then there was a flash of lightning outside and the TV went off, so Gordon went back to bed and fell asleep. The end. And you can't help but sympathise with my teacher who's written underneath, Ivo, this is not about a windy night.